Hi, I'm Father Michael Orsi. I'm your host for Action for Life TV, that good news program, the good news with the big G, the gospel of Jesus Christ, and the little g, all of the good things that people are doing to protect life from the moment of conception until natural death. We have some wonderful people with us today. I know them quite well. I've spent many a day with them out on the sidewalk in front of Planned Parenthood, protesting peacefully the fact that Planned Parenthood is aborting human beings, killing babies. These ladies are out there morning and noon, sometimes in the heat, sometimes in the rain, because they're dedicated to the preservation of human life, that gift of Almighty God made in His image and in His likeness. I have with me today some of these people who work for a group called Sidewalk Advocates. Sidewalk Advocates. And they'll tell you what they do. It's a fantastic ministry. They're trained for this ministry, and they sometimes, by the grace of God, rescue babies from being killed in the abortion clinic. So let me introduce these ladies to you right now. Pat Patton, raise your hand. Hi. Here's Pat Patton. Yay for Pat Patton. Yay.
Thank you.
And we have Nita Johnson. Nita, raise your hand. Hi, this is Nita Johnson. Hooray for Nita, yes indeed. And Mary Claire Dent. And this is Mary Claire. Yay for Mary Claire. These ladies deserve, they really deserve our applause. Their dedication to the cause of life is just fantastic. As I've said, I've seen them there in front of Planned Parenthood week after week, protesting peacefully and prayerfully, but also stopping cars before they enter that place of death and counsel young women and sometimes the men who are bringing them into Planned Parenthood and advising them about what their options are and as to what is really going on in Planned Parenthood. Believe it or not, some people go to Planned Parenthood and they don't know they are performing abortions in Planned Parenthood, or they don't know that they have options to abortion. And so we're going to talk now to Pat Patton first. Yes, I want you to talk about Advocates for Life.
Yes, Father. We started in front of Planned Parenthood when they first started doing abortions in Naples, and we kind of trained ourselves in the beginning. And we watched videotapes from other agencies in different parts of the country, including Monsignor Riley in
yes,
Brooklyn,
Monsignor
New York.
Philip Riley, wonderful
Yes.
man.
And he's the director of Helpers of God's Precious Infants. And those people that do that do similar to what we do. We weren't able to get him to come down to train us, but we did get a training from Sidewalk Advocates for Life. And now everyone that does sidewalk counseling in front of this Planned Parenthood is trained in Sidewalk Advocates for Life, as are Nita and Mary Claire.
Okay, so you began in 2009.
Yes.
Planned Parenthood began performing abortions in 2009.
That's
You
correct.
ladies said, this is a terrible thing, it should never happen, and we're going to do something about it. And so basically, you trained yourselves as to what to do.
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
And we had a large group of people behind us, and we did things like create signs, and order pamphlets that we found online that related to like these to help women.
We have signs, we have pamphlets, okay? And something else I think that we have to talk about is how to approach these people going into Planned Parenthood.
Yes,
How
Father.
do you approach them?
That's exactly what the training is about, and it's a beautiful training because we might feel angry about what's happening in there, but that's not how we approach people going in. We approach with love, kindness, and the idea is we want to help women, first of all. And the most important thing about Sidewalk Advocates for Life, it's a very long training. You spend a whole day training for it with video from Lauren Muzica, who's the director of Sidewalk Advocates for Life, and she is a graduate of Ave Maria Law School.
I taught Lauren, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful young woman. And I know she's put a lot of effort into the program. Now, Anita, how long have you been involved?
I've been a counselor for 4 years.
Okay, and why did you get involved?
I got involved because my husband and I had serious fertility issues and couldn't have children. And so we tried to adopt, and it was a very long process. 3 years we waited for a baby. But specifically when my husband and I knew we couldn't have children, I specifically prayed that if we were to adopt, that the Lord would use us to save a baby from abortion. So my daughter was saved from an abortion. Her birth mother changed her mind an hour before her appointment in Tampa.
Isn't that fantastic? So you in effect, you rescued
Yes.
a child, and that brought you into the pro-life movement.
Yes, and specifically I wanted to bring attention to adoption, that we need to offer a real alternative to abortion, that some women are not ready to parent children, and that there is another solution, and that there are hundreds of thousands of parents that desperately want a child.
I've heard the numbers. They're fantastic. The numbers of people who want to adopt a child, good families, and unfortunately there's not even enough babies for them. And so when people say, oh, well, you know, you have these kids and then nobody wants them, folks, that ain't true. That ain't true. There are plenty of good people out there that want to give these children a good home. So the option is for adoption. Something else I want to talk to you about. Oftentimes people say, oh, abortion, you know, pro-life, that's Catholic stuff. But you're not Catholic.
No, I attend First Baptist of Naples.
And my friend there is Pastor
Dr. Hayes
Wicker. And you know, Dr. Wicker is going to be the main speaker at our pro-life banquet in Naples. I think it's January the 17th. January the 17th. And tickets, folks, you know, tickets are available. You can go on the actionforlife.net website, and if you want a ticket to hear Dr. Wicker, please come. He's just a fantastic guy. Now, Mary Claire, how did you get involved?
Well, Father, I used to see the people praying outside of the clinic, so I started praying, and then I started carrying a sign, and I stood out on Goodlet Road, and then I used to watch the counselors and listen to what they were saying to the women, and I decided to take Pat's training, and I became a counselor about 1.5 years ago.
Okay, now let's just talk about the training a little bit. What is the key components of the training? It's a day-long experience.
Yes.
Okay.
We actually, Mary Claire assisted me. We did a training this past Saturday, just a couple of days ago. And we did it at Ave Maria University. This is a little different than most of the trainings, actually, but it's the most recent. That's why I'm talking about it. Usually it's just any women or men that might come by and say, I think I'd like to do what you do. And so we sign them up. And when we get a group, I've had small groups like 3, and this group was 13 students, girls.
13, that's wonderful.
Young men and young women,
Good.
both. And we show them the video with Lauren talking. But what I wanted to make sure that we say is the most important thing is we don't go first to God, even though we, as good Christians, we go to God all the time. When we are talking to the woman, we go to her. We want to connect with her heart and soul. We want to make that contact, and we push our sunglasses up, and we look in their eyes, and we say, can we help you? Because we know they're not going in there feeling very good. And we try to be very kind and helpful, letting them know there are many alternatives to this.
Right.
And show them where they can find places that can help them with whatever it is that's troubling them at this time.
Could you give us an example? You know, somebody
So it
comes and
just
say,
goes-
look, I'm coming here because I don't know what else to do. And you say, well, we got some options. What would you tell them? What are
Right.
some of the options?
Well, we use our literature,
Uh-huh.
and we say, because sometimes they can't stop for very long, it might be just a few seconds. So we always have that ready. And while we're talking and trying to make a connection, a person to person, we will hand the literature. And they can't stay in that driveway for too long. So we ask them look at it before they go inside, and hopefully that something that they see in there actually might change their mind
Let
or
me talk
touch
to the
their
folks
heart.
a little bit about the driveway and the number of feet
Yes.
that we have to observe staying away from the property of Planned Parenthood. This has been contested in the courts time and time again. We are observant of all of the laws of the municipality. So when someone is driving into Planned Parenthood, there are yellow lines. We stop at the yellow line. We try to wave a car down,
Yeah.
and then we try to get the folks in the car to take down the window,
Yes.
and then we stick our heads in and we say some things that are going to show them we're their friends. Their enemies are inside Planned Parenthood. We're their friends. Nita, tell me about it. You stick your head in the window and you say what?
Well, I wouldn't say I stick my head in the window, but
I stuck my head in the window.
I lean forward and I present the pamphlet and I ask them, I want you to let you know that we're here to help you, that we're here to let you know that there's other alternatives, that they do abortions in Planned Parenthood. Some claim to say they don't know why they're there, or they don't tell us the truth. They say they're there for a physical. You can get a lot of information out of body language. Usually the woman is very distraught. She's not driving herself. She's in the passenger seat. You can see whether it's the parents in the car or the boyfriend or just a female friend bringing them. And depending on the situation, if it's parents, I might address, led by the Holy Spirit, that this is going to harm your daughter, that this is going to affect her and damage her. It's going to damage your family relationship.
Right.
This is not a quick fix situation.
Right.
It's going to affect your relationship as a family forever.
Right.
And it's going to hurt her. And as a result, it's going to hurt your family.
See, Nita is an excellent counselor because she's going and talking about the woman.
Right.
And we are there to save babies, but we have to have first the woman. So you go mom first, and then God. Then the child, and then God.
Right.
So
So
first,
folks, this is really, it's a beautiful thing that these ladies are doing. They're showing people that, they're concerned about them, that there is options for them, many options for them, but also that we are there out of love. And I'm going to repeat this again. The folks in Planned Parenthood are not there out of love. They're there for the bucks, gang. They're there for the bucks. What kind of reactions, Mary Claire, do you get? You don't stick your head in the window. You just wave.
Actually, I try to make eye contact with them right away. As Pat said, I push my sunglasses up and I try to smile and I tell them that I'm there for them. I'm not trying to take away their choice. I'm trying to help them make a better choice. And we have these little 12-week model babies, and I'm usually always holding one in my hand, and I do try to show them that, this is what the baby looks like.
Do we have any model babies? Did we bring any today?
we didn't.
We didn't.
Oh,
Oh,
my.
folks, it's got to, you see this when they go over to the window and there's this little, there's a baby and it's like this big. But
Yes.
it really is a very moving thing. Hey, look, we got to go. We got a couple of commercials coming up. The commercials are great on this show. So watch the commercials and we'll be back shortly.
In my life, long as I remember, now they're even missing from December. God's gone missing, Jesus too. Does that even bother you? God's gone missing, Jesus too. Looks like the minority rules, and the Christian world looks mighty weak. No fight at all, just turn the cheek. Time to stand and be much bolder. Time to move on, we're Christian soldiers. God's gone missing, Jesus too. What on earth are you
out of nowhere, I mean, we started praying. We were like, God, we don't know which way to take. Do we yes or or just show us a sign? And right whenever I remember we prayed to God and we were like, God, show us a sign. A sidewalk counselor walks up.
I remember walking up to this car where the grandmother of this child was driving. So the mother of this young girl was in the passenger seat, 17 years old, scared as all get out.
I guess your first feeling is, oh, here comes somebody trying to tell me what to do. And usually, I mean, you see this stuff all the time because, I mean, like driving in Dallas, you'll see like the abortion clinics and there's people out there and half the time it looks like harassment because they're like, oh my God, don't do this to yourself. And it's like you hear it over and over and over and it's kind of like, okay, whatever, I'm going to do what I want.
And I still remember approaching the car and doing kind of that universal roll down your window sign and leaning in and saying, hi, my name is Lauren. I want to let you know that we love you, we've been praying for you, and we've got real help for you today.
I really don't know what's going on with you guys, but there's hope. Just, I guess, hearing that word hope, I think that's what anyone in the world's looking for if they're going through things like that. It's like, where can I find salvation in this? Someone come save me from this.
And we're back. Hi, gang. You notice we have someone new sitting in the middle chair. Nita had to leave, but we now have Anna Soto sitting in. And I especially wanted Anna here today because she does a lot of work with the Hispanic speaking population. A lot of people go to Planned Parenthood. They don't speak English. That's why they're hoodwinked as easily as they are when they go in. But Anna makes sure that that doesn't happen. We're going to hear from you in just a few moments, okay? Before we get to that, though, I said that we have little models of the babies that are being aborted. And Nita went out to her car and she got a model. So, Mary Claire, could you show us the model?
Well, this is the model, Father, and this is a 12-week-old baby. And I usually carry a little black baby and a little white baby, and I show them. Here are the eyes and the nose and the ears. I mean, this is a perfectly formed baby.
It's fantastic.
It's beautiful, and to say this is the size of your baby and personalize it that way.
It's just fantastic, and yet it's so sad that people would say that that's not a baby and that they're willing to destroy that beautiful little baby being formed. I don't know if our cameras could pick this up, but look at that. That's there, gang. That's there. Thank you. That's great. God bless you. Okay. I want to talk to Anna just for a moment about how you got involved in the Sidewalk Advocates.
Well, a friend of mine asked me to go with her to this clinic where they have abortions, and I went there, and I noticed all the love that these ladies will give to the people that comes in there, and I liked it, and I stayed.
That's wonderful. There are, as I have seen, a number of people who do come to Planned Parenthood who do not speak English. They're Hispanic, and you minister to them. You really do. You go out there and you minister to them. Are they surprised when you approach the car?
Well, sometimes, but sometimes they stop and they listen to you. And we walk to the car, but once they go in and they start going into the clinic, we also talk to them. And we ask them that we have information for them, that they should not go in. And sometimes they listen, sometimes they just pass by, and we just have to wait for the next one to come.
Okay, let's talk to Pat for a moment. Your training, do you have a training that is both in English and in Spanish?
No, I only speak English.
Okay, do you help with the trainings now?
No, I'm only there for 7 months, so maybe I can get involved later on.
I think that would be a great idea to
yes,
have a
Father,
Hispanic training.
actually, Laura Musica has started. One of her staff, who is Spanish speaking, is starting a training just for Spanish
Okay,
people.
well, there you go. Okay, so folks, if you need Hispanic speaking people, Hispanic training, it's going to be available. So go on to the website and it'll be there. And your website is?
Sidewalkadvocates.org.
Sidewalkadvocates.org. Go on the website, and there's some really good information for you. And it's an important thing that people do get involved in this very important ministry, very important ministry. I want to talk to you also about the involvement of the churches, the involvement of the churches. How do you reach out to the churches? Look, as I said, when Nita was here, this is not just a Catholic issue. Every Christian, every human being, for that matter, should be concerned about the cause for life. But Christians know the truth. The truth is that we are made in God's image and in God's likeness. And so the churches have an obligation to promote pro-life, to promote people trained as advocates for life. Yeah. So what do you do with the churches? How do you reach out to them?
Well, most of Catholic churches, because I am Catholic, have Respect Life committees. And within the Respect Life committee, we let people know there that this is available, and we also ask them to come and pray. We can't do this with just counselors. You can't counsel unless you have prayers. And we always have them there. And we actually like to call them prayer partners. So I know Mary Claire is one that has a very dear friend that always comes with her, and she prays for Mary Claire that her work will be successful and fruitful.
Okay, so
while she's
do you get in touch with the churches, the parishes? Do you call them up and say, hey, we're having a training? Hey, you know, we could use some help, you know, during 40 Days for Life. Do you do that?
You know, 40 Days for Life does that very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Pam Kesson is the leader for that within our diocese.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the one that actually connects with every church that's, and also the non-Catholic churches. We've always welcomed the non-Catholic churches, and we've had several people that come regularly to pray at the Sidewalk that are not Catholic.
Yes.
And actually nationwide, there is even a Jewish foundation for life.
Isn't that fantastic?
Jewish foundation.
So listen, folks, make sure your churches do get involved. It's very, very important to give witness out there. I noticed when we have Life Change Sunday, we had non-Catholic churches out there for sure.
Yes.
And in Naples, we had large representation from Covenant Church, their Presbyterian
Yes.
background. When we have our pro-life banquet on January the 17th, we're going to have Pastor Trent Casto. He's from Covenant Church. He's going to be giving the invocation. And then we're going to have Father Philemon Patistas,
Right.
and he's going to be giving the benediction. So, you know, this is an ecumenical effort. Tell your pastor, if you don't have an active pro-life group, to get one. And also to make sure that you do send people to pray peacefully in front of Planned Parenthood. Look, I want that place, I want them all closed down. I want them closed down. And I think we could do it with President Trump as long as he takes away the funding. And they're worried about that, gang. They are worried about that. I want them closed down. And I know the one in Naples can be closed down. Why can't we have at least 50 people out there every Monday, especially when the abortionist is there, praying outside, giving witness to the faith? That will close them down. There's no excuse for Planned Parenthood to continue and to be getting taxpayers' money to perform murder. Murder. Now, what more can I say? What can I say than that? But I want to hear now guys, hear some good news. All right, what happens, okay, so you counsel somebody on the sidewalk. Do we have any turnarounds?
We do. Just recently, I started trying to keep some stats, and I think it's because it seems like we've been more successful recently. So since the summertime, this summer, we've had 9 people that we can say turned away from Planned Parenthood.
We saved
Yes,
9 lives.
yes. Well, I can't say that.
Okay.
We're very careful about not saying. We call them saves when we only call them a save when we know for sure that the woman or her husband have said, we decided to keep our baby, and they leave the facility and they go to the Pregnancy Resource Center. So then we know that they've given up on the idea of having the abortion.
Okay.
We don't really know for sure unless they come back another year and say, here's that baby. which has happened throughout the country. I get pictures all the time of
Isn't
the
that
day before the
fantastic? Wow,
thing.
what a
Yeah.
feeling. What satisfaction that must give you. You know, I want to make sure that, we talked about Hispanic ministry and Hispanic training, and we talked about Anna's special ministry to the Hispanic population. So what I'd like you to do is to speak to the folks in Spanish and give them the message, give them the good news in Spanish.
Queremos decirle a las personas, a las mujeres que están pasando por esta situación de aborto, que no están solas, que hay personas que están dispuestas y programas que están dispuestos a ayudarles. Le pedimos que se comuniquen con las clínicas de embarazo de su comunidad y ahí le van a dar información cómo les van a ayudar. Si después que ustedes salen de ese embarazo deciden que no pueden tener la criatura, hay otras opciones. Lo pueden dar en adopción. Hay muchas parejas que no tuvieron el privilegio de salir embarazadas y están esperando un niño para adoptarlo. Así que tengan su niño, hay ayudas, consígalas, hay muchas personas para ayudarle. Gracias.
Wow, and I agree with every word she said. I mean, I catch the drift of what you said.
Oh, okay.
And it's beautiful. No hablo, but yo comprendo.
Muy bien.
Okay, so how's that, huh?
Bien.
You didn't think I could speak Spanish, huh?
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, you heard that, and she gave a wonderful message, and it is the message of advocates for life, the sidewalk counselors. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, join up in some way, even if it's just prayers at home. Please say your prayers at home because this is a wonderful ministry. We need help out there. We need counselors out there. We need prayers out there. We need prayers at home. I tell the folks at my parish, look, if you can't make it on the sidewalk, make it in your house. God bless you all. Have a great week.
We trust that this week's Action for Life program has challenged and encouraged you in honoring, respecting, preserving, and protecting human life. If you'd like to support this ministry or just get more information, we invite you to visit our website at www.actionforlife.net.
Time to move on, we're Christian soldiers. God's gone missing, Jesus too.